God damn.
Man, what is going on, everybody? We are at tomorrow because it is past midnight. And we are live today with your 2025 Double or Nothing official post-show review. Now, we'll be talking some Double or Nothing tonight, as tonight was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good show. I think there was a lot to enjoy on this show. AEW went with both Owen winners that I probably wouldn't have went with preferentially. Didn't mind the men's. The women's we will get into in a little bit. That utterly pissed me off. I told Zerke right after the match ended, yeah, they ain't beating those allegations.
Oh, they ain't.
Yeah, not at all. So there was that, and otherwise, tonight was a good show. Tonight was a good show. I obviously thought the two highlights of the show were exactly what I think everybody thought would be the highlights of the show: Anarchy in the Arena, and then the Adam Page and Will Ospreay. I like that match a lot. So those two were the highlights for me of the night. But there was also still a lot of good action on the show. And overall, I thought they turned out a good show. This was by no means as bad as AEW Dynasty was. Wouldn't say it was as good as Revolution, but it was no Dynasty.
No, it was no Dynasty. There was some worrying parts where you're asking yourself, why is this on pay-per-view? But most of it, I would say they had a good night, man. The matches you thought were going to be good were fucking really good. And even that Ricochet and Mark Briscoe match ended up being a sleeper, man, because I did not think it was going to be that good. That was definitely one of the shockingly the better matches on the show. So overall, I would say they had a really good night. Like you said, I don't know if I'd put it above Revolution. It's definitely above Dynasty. I think anything will be above Dynasty, man. But they had a really good night tonight. I'll give them that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yes, good night of in-ring action. So obviously, I know this is an AEW review, but we obviously were not live for Saturday night's main event, and that is because
it was ass.
Nothing happened other than big homie Bronson Reed is back in the fold, bro. Ooh. Very, very, very excited to see Bronson Reed back and a part of this group. There is a short out of the just plethora of shorts you see across all of our social medias. There is one of them that does suggest, a couple weeks ago on Unscripted, I suggested maybe the third man is Bronson Reed. And that actually came true. So happy for my boy Bronson Reed. Happy to see him back. Miss the fucking guy, man. And he's in, I was telling you this yesterday, but he's in a group with Braun and Seth, and I just really hope that both of those guys get Batista and Randy Orton out of that group, because we need some younger names in that main event scene, and both of those guys are ready, to say the least.
Most definitely, those two guys are definitely ready, and that was a really good addition. Probably the good decision they made in the night. I'm really glad they went with that, and I'm really glad they put him in the group. I think it makes sense. A lot of people are trying to say it doesn't make sense. He feuded with Seth. That's the point. We'll talk about it more on Monday, but Seth respects him. He respects his power, all that shit. He had beef with the bloodline. People Seth hate. Pretty obvious to make a logical decision out of that. And I just think it's a dope ass decision. I'm glad he's back. I didn't think he'd be back yet. I'm glad he's back. And they made the right choice with that. Now the rest of that night, there was not good choices. But that was a good choice on last night.
One of the best choices they made out of that night was having Jesse Ventura on commentary during the Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre match, dude. Him just berating Damian Priest for walking out of the door, calling him a coward, telling him he should have called his limo driver to come and open the door for him. Killed me, bro. I fell out laughing hearing Jesse Ventura just go off
he
on Damian Priest.
he was shitting all over that fucking ending. It was great.
You know, I'm happy Cody's back. I am happy Cody's back. However, fuck, man.
What the most anticlimactic way to bring him back?
This man gets brought back as they, in one night, try to just formulaically piece together some sort of partnership between John fucking Cena and Logan Paul. As John Cena tells Jay in the back, oh, I leave with this title when my dates are up, and a YouTuber is the world heavyweight champion. That sounds like it would ruin wrestling. Way to just formulaically piece together a fucking shit pairing of John Cena and Logan Paul, which is eventually going to lead us to John Cena, Logan Paul, and Travis Scott versus Cody Rhodes and the fucking Usos.
Fucking wasting Cena's last year, dog. What is that? Fucking wasted a whole date on a 4-minute fucking R-Truth match.
So, his last Money in the Bank, which Money in the Bank has grown to be an iconic pay-per-view in WWE. A lot of great moments at Money in the Bank. The same show he faced CM Punk at, the same show he's won the Money in the Bank ladder match at. People are going to look back, they're going to say, what was John Cena's last WrestleMania like? Well, he celebrated with Travis Scott. What was John Cena's last Money in the Bank like? He teamed with fucking Logan Paul and Travis Scott. I can't. The Rock, dude. The fucking Rock.
Like, why are you continuing this path with Cena, bro? Don't want to say yet, but starting to think I would have preferred him to stay in babyface, but I'm not gonna say that completely yet, man.
You know, the heel turn was awesome, and there has been. I know a lot of people they say, you know, yeah, exactly. It's a great moment, and I know a lot of people, you know, feel underwhelmed, and I can't necessarily say you feel wrong for feeling that way. There is a lot of good to come out of this. There is a lot of good to come out of the Cena heel turn. But I said this again, and there is a short on it. It was quite a while ago from, I think, going into the chamber when we were talking about who Soul Rock was going to take. We brought up the idea of John Cena, and I said in there, I think the beauty in John Cena's final year would be keeping him babyface. That may very well be the case.
Yeah.
There has been good, and I can't say the heel turn has been a fail or a dud.
No.
There's things they go about with the heel turn that are just completely ass backwards, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to make this fun for the fans, I really think having him do a completely new look, or at least like black gear, just to go with the heel, you know, darker kind of theme, a new entrance theme. I think all those things just would have made this whole thing so much more fun. But you know, we're getting to points like this, and I'm sure we'll be at high points with AJ and with Punk and with maybe some other guys that they throw at John Cena, where it's going to be real fun. But this kind of stuff I'm not a fan of for his last year. I think he needs to be dabbling in with the roster, because this is the last time we're going to get to see him, you know, dabble in with like a current roster.
Exactly.
You know, because in 5 years there's going to be all new guys, and we're going to say, man, a match between, or a promo battle between him and John Cena would have been dope. We're not going to get to see that. This is the last year we get to see that kind of stuff. And he's dabbling with Logan Paul and Travis fucking Scott. Give me a break, man.
He should be dabbling with people like Gunther, like Braun,
dude,
like those type of people. I think you should have spent his last year with.
I also think you maybe should turn him back babyface before the end of the year, because just so you have the opportunity to have him face guys like Bronson, Reed,
At least one, somebody.
Seth, and I think the big one that a lot of people want to see is Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think those kind of things you missed the mark on.
I think so. I think they really did.
And just so you know, corporate WWE, if you turn John Cena back babyface, or even if if you do keep him heel, I completely want to stress nobody wants to see a match with him and Damian Priest. Not a soul.
That is dog shit. Don't ever do that.
Just had to throw that out there. But yeah, Saturday night's main event. Again, there's a reason why we don't review them. They are 2 hours, or not even really, because they're maybe an hour and 15 minutes if you count commercials. There may be an hour and 15 minutes of just that, commercial breaks and fast-paced wrestling that just feels rushed.
Yeah, everything feels rushed. They get him in there and they get him out, and boom, commercial, boom, entrance, boom, another commercial. It's pointless, dude. It's completely pointless, and they really should just scrap these and make the Saturday night's main event, re-identify it as just occasional pay-per-view that occasionally happens in your pay-per-view lineup, and keep it at that, man.
Yep. Once a year, put it as a part of the pay-per-view calendar, and then again, just have it be that fun retro show that is just a throwback.
Exactly. Do exactly a little retro themed pay-per-view and call it a day.
Like last year, last year when they did it in December, the buffer between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble, just do that.
Yeah.
But make it a pay-per-view event
and
make it, a nice 3.5 hour show, and just put it in the lineup. But having these things 4 times a year, it's a waste. It's a waste of time. Like Logan said, they've been bad. They've been bad. The best one I can remember was maybe the one in January where Jacob Fatu showed out. That probably was the best one, but other than that, I couldn't tell you anything else that was on that show. Oh, Gunther and Jay. But again, other than Fatu, nothing was good on that show. You know what I mean? So I don't know. They suck.
They do. They're a failed experiment.
Yes. So yeah, happy Cody's back, but not happy with what they brought him back doing.
Yeah, he didn't come back in like a special way at all. It's just to set up the most lame formulaic thing on the planet.
We're watching this promo segment in the back with Cena and Jay, and all I could think is just way too fucking formulaically pieced together with scotch tape a alliance, partnership, friendship, whatever you want to call it, with John Cena and Logan Paul. This is exactly what I had in mind for John Cena's last year.
Teaming with Logan Paul. I want to see him with roster members. I'm sorry, he's not a roster member. He's a guy that's there. I want roster members. I want Gunther. I want Braun. I want guys like that.
Yeah.
Hell, Sami Zayn, dude.
LA Knight.
Some people that I care about.
Yep. So, yeah, that was that. I'm trying to see, before we do talk about anything, I'm trying to see, let me see. I didn't, well, actually, I can probably easily check this. Did you see, just for sure, confirmation about the Obafemi match?
No, I haven't seen confirmation.
I was going to say, I haven't seen anything about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he just won. Kept him moving.
Yeah, why? Okay, so talking about Battleground. We did not watch Battleground.
No.
We did not watch Battleground. Yes, Obafemi obviously did keep the title.
Okay.
Just making sure before we actually talk about this. We did not watch Battleground. We did peek at the pre-show just because it was more interesting than the Double or Nothing pre-show. And happy for Miles Bourne. I'm happy
Yeah.
to, after this or tomorrow, whenever I get the chance, I will probably watch the match back, see how that goes. Happy for him. Sol Ruka, I kept seeing the clip of her hitting the Soul Snatcher off the top rope.
Insane.
She's a stud.
She really is.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Most definitely. And yeah, other than that, seems like the show went okay. Seems like everybody's saying some decent stuff about it. I heard Trick won the TNT, I was gonna say the TNT title, the TNA world title. Very shocking. Very shocking. They put it on a WWE superstar.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy, man. I wonder how they're gonna play that off now.
most definitely. But yes, I definitely will be having to go back and watch a little bit of the show just because there is a lot of people I do actually care about in NXT. So
Most definitely.
speaking of care about or lack thereof, the AEW Double or Nothing buy-in. Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, they defeated Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. And then Bandito AR Fox and Los Titanes del Air, which is Hologram and Commander, defeated RPG Vice. Is it RPG? Dude, they were saying RBG all night.
They were saying RBG. RP. Good God.
When did that start? When did they stop being called Roppongi Vice?
I feel like that's just a shorter way of saying Roppongi Vice. Instead of Roppongi RPG. Or maybe that's like the new spelling of, but they were trying.
This kind of reminds me of the New Japan, like what they did to Bullet Club.
Oh,
they started as Bullet Club Gold, but then for whatever reason they transitioned them to the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah, for a little bit, because I don't know if there was like some type of copyright dispute or something or whatever. Maybe that. But like, isn't Rocky Romero like the guy that like hooks them up with New Japan? So I was like, I would think he'd be able to get. Maybe that's just a him thing, and he just has horrible creative ideas. I wouldn't be shocked at that. But they're RPG Vice now. I still feel like that's just a shortened version of Roppongi Vice.
Yep. I think this is so AEW just doesn't have to use New Japan IP. Basically similar to what they did with Bullet Club Gold.
It's like it is that thing, but it's technically named differently.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. Okay, so anyways, they defeated RPG Vice, Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky and Trent Beretta and crew. Andretti and Leo Rush.
Good Lord.
In an 8-man tag. So that was your buy-in.
What a buy-in.
Yeah, Logan says Megan Bayne, how do the mighty have fallen. Yes.
Literally.
Last month, the beginning of April, she was in the women's tag God please no. She was in the women's world title match against Toni Storm. And now here at Double or Nothing, she's on the buy-in in a tag team match against Anna Jay and Harley Cameron.
Good Lord.
So much for your fans, I guess, maybe taking a liking to Megan Bayne because you have swept the rug out from under her.
Yep.
What were Hologram and Commander called that like got them in hot water?
Oof, I don't have no clue.
Remember, because they had to rename them to this?
They did. I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was either.
Oof.
Yeah, but that happened. So yeah,
that was a buy-in, I guess. Way to make it buy the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a wonderful attempt to get anybody to buy. If you did buy because of the buy-in, then I seriously question your motives. So that was everything for the buy-in. So moving on to the main card here, we got this match to open the show. Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. How packed was the stadium? for Double or Nothing. Um,
It was
the
decent.
commentators repeatedly tried to tell you this was sold out,
I don't
but
think
you could clearly look out into the crowd and see patches of
yeah.
empty seats. Like,
I
majority of it was full.
I don't think they needed any tarps, but like you said, there were patches here and there.
Yeah,
It was fine. I think
yeah,
that it was fine.
yeah, for sure. This match between Mercedes and Jamie Hayter, um, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't label it any more than that. I don't know. I don't know if people thought that this was some sort of masterpiece. I wouldn't say that. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Um, if they got between if there were 5 gears in a match, I would maybe say they probably got to 2 3/4.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 3.5, 3/4 they
Yeah,
were at.
yeah.
It was a good match. Nothing special.
Yeah, they never really got to tweaking, but I seen a lot again. I seen a lot of people trying to say that they were like tweaking out here.
Mm,
I wouldn't say that personally. I thought the match was good, like I
mm-hmm.
said, but yeah, it was man. So early in the match, Mercedes hits a Meteora on the outside. Jamie Hayter, a little later down the line in the match, got Mercedes in a crossface. So she got her in her own finisher. So Mercedes would eventually get out of it. A little later down the line, Mercedes would put Jamie in a crossface of her own. Jamie got to her feet while Mercedes had the crossface in, got Mercedes to her feet, and hit her with a lariat. Hit her with a running lariat for a near fall. She would go for a tombstone. She would go for a tombstone on Mercedes Moné. Go to hit her with the Haterade lariat. And as she swung her arm, Mercedes caught it and rolled up Jamie Hayter. I use that term loosely because she went to roll her up and just planted
Wrong.
Jamie Hayter right on her face.
Straight face to mat, dude. Oh, that was brutal.
She rolled up Jamie Hayter for the 1, 2, 3 in 21 minutes and 15 seconds. Mercedes Moné, the TBS champion, is heading to All In Texas to face Toni Storm for the women's championship. No Athena, no nothing. Straight up, Jamie Hayter just loses as Mercedes Moné is going to fight for the main women's championship in the division of which that she already carries a championship.
Like they have the mid card women's title, which is the TBS title, which she held down, and now she's going for the world. So no TBS title match at All In because the champion is facing the women's world champion for no real reason. Like dog, no antics, no nothing, just beat her, just straight up. No Athena. Wasted Athena's undefeated streak for nothing. For literally nothing. To probably just see her back in ROH when she comes back. Dog, what? Or I really wouldn't be shocked if Mercedes wins, then Athena comes out and confronts her.
Which honestly, bro, at that point, you're probably looking at Mercedes taking all the women's titles
Yep,
then.
probably. She'll take the ROH from her.
This shit here is such a huge indication of favoritism
Oh, yeah.
in AEW because you, for months ago, brought Jamie Hayter back, and for months, you did nothing with her. Your fan base starts to see her again, and they really fuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people wanted her to win because she should have won.
Oh, yeah.
Because her and Tony have history. They have a story that you can go into for All In. Which, speaking of story, Mercedes had a perfectly built-in story with Athena, because Athena was 64-0 going up against Mercedes, who was 17-0. So what would make the most sense? It would make the most sense for Athena to be mad enough to cost Mercedes this match, serving her first loss in AEW. Mercedes would get pissed. Title for title at All In Texas. TBS versus ROH title.
Look at that.
Meanwhile, you have Jamie Hayter fighting to get the championship back that she never lost. Technically, because she, got screwed out of it by the Outcast, and who was a member of the Outcast and actually took the title from Jamie. It was fucking Toni Storm.
At the show a year prior, she finally returned to. It was perfect. It would have been literally perfect.
Meanwhile, you opt to go with Mercedes versus Tony.
For what?
For fucking what?
Who is this for? Is it for Mercedes? It's the only person it could be for.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That is a ridiculously weak move, if you ask me, man. And again, I said it. I said it as soon as the match ended because I was stunned. They are not beating them allegations, bro.
No.
What are you doing here? Honestly, man. Again, two really good routes for both of these women to head on to Double or Nothing, and you did nothing.
You just went with the most generic fucking Mercedes pleasing match, and she's just gonna hold everything for no reason, for nothing, just to hold everything down. Makes no fucking sense, man.
What exactly does Toni do after she loses to Mercedes?
I literally don't have an answer for you. I don't think they have an answer. I know they don't have an answer.
Another great question. What does Jamie Hayter do after this? She could have been feuding with somebody going into All In. Both of these women could have still had a title match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Again, Mercedes and Athena title for title. Jamie and Toni for the women's title.
Yep.
You can have Jamie win the title, and then at fucking All Out in Toronto, if you wanted to run this back then you could have done that. It just doesn't make sense, man. It's such a weak-ass move, bro. It's such a weak-ass move. I don't know what exactly you're trying to do here with Mercedes Moné.
Oh, literally.
I mean, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to piss people off, or like what is the point of this?
You're just giving her titles for the fuck of it, dude. Literally.
I didn't get this. Again, I really thought the better option was Athena, Mercedes, and then Jamie and Toni, which, again, going back to Athena, you legit just had Athena straight up just lose. And that's my fault for putting faith in Tony Khan that he would actually make a story out of Athena being pissed off after she lost to Mercedes.
And screw her over.
Remember when Athena was in the ring looking all pissed and then they cut away damn near instantly? I thought, okay, maybe that look will, translate down the line and she's going to, screw over Mercedes and cost her the Owen final.
Nope. Just beat her.
You sacrificed Athena's win streak on a fucking episode of Dynamite. So please explain to me why Athena was in this tournament.
Why? Why'd you put her in the first place? You didn't make a story out of it. You made her lose for no reason. You should at that point you should have just had Mercedes run through the fucking tournament and called it a day. It would have been fucking less disappointing than this. At least here I thought something good was gonna happen out of it, and it didn't. I don't, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. Again, just a ridiculously weak ass move. Weak ass move from Tony Khan. Again, man. I just I really thought the other way was a better outcome. I really did. And I don't know. I don't know what he's doing sometimes, and I really do not know what the point of this Mercedes God run is in AEW, man. I don't.
What's the end game? When she has all the titles, what do you do then? You don't have an answer. They don't have an answer, and that's the worst part. It's gonna be an ascension, and then once she's there, it is gonna be the most sloppiest and most random. Just this title's out of her picture. This title's gone. She lost this one, and it's gonna be horrible, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, half of her matches in AEW are good, man, but her stories in the company is what is going to dry and burn people out, because there is nothing. There's absolutely nothing half the time. There is
just
she slaps somebody, runs away, gets her ass kicked,
beats them, winner,
come back and beats him up, hits him with the title. That's your story.
Every time she just wins. There's no hook to it. It's just someone running through division after division, just beating everybody. I don't get the appeal to that.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, I really thought Mercedes losing this match because Athena screwing her out of it was the right outcome. Title for title with Athena at All In. Jamie goes on, obviously, to face Toni Storm. Which, again, you did that. Both of the women in this match had a clear-cut path to All In. That was good. Now, you're looking at Toni and Mercedes, which is probably going to be a good match. Now, with saying that, Jamie definitely doesn't have anything to do at All In. I doubt it.
No.
And Athena, maybe she gets put in on some random ROH stuff. But other than that, that's a maybe as well. So, I just... such a weak move, and I just really felt Jamie Hayter should have walked out with this Owen championship, or the Owen Cup, because again, you did that, then everybody wins. Exactly. You went the route where quite literally only Mercedes wins.
It's literally only right. Literally, she is the one benefactor of this whole thing, when you could have had multiple, and she's the only one gaining anything. And it's not something that anyone wants to see her gain.
Yeah. Again, people get annoyed with how much she wins, and she's just the TBS champion.
Imagine when she's the world champion.
Everything in that women's division, quite literally everything, will revolve around her.
And it was always better, whatever she wasn't doing. The other stuff was always at that point the best stuff. Toni Storm and Mariah May. Toni Storm and this person. That was always better than whatever Mercedes was doing. And you're got to lose that after All In. Good luck to your women's division, man.
And man, I don't know, man. Yeah, they are headed down a long dark road, man. I can tell you that right now. Because yeah, that just sounds awful. Yeah. So that was the finals to the Owen, to the women's Owen, and actually, this may be the first time I forgot to hit the intro.
Oh shit.
But regardless, this is the first time watching, guys. You know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw with Unscripted, and every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news. With that, if you guys did miss this past Friday's edition of the news, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single Friday at 3 p.m. Central for the news, man. Also, if you guys haven't got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. And with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. It's been a good weekend, man. It was a good Saturday. Was a really good Sunday, man. It was a really good show tonight overall. Enjoyed my night, and now I'm here, best part of the day, with you guys, man. So very glad to be here. Very glad to come, after what we just watched, man. It was a good show. Like talking about it. Love talking about it. Had a good weekend, man. Had a good weekend. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Just enjoyed the weekend, enjoyed Double or Nothing. That's about it. So as Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, my man Hunter? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys here for joining us. As always, whether you're here now or a part of the Replay Mafia, my guys JT and JB, how are you guys doing, man? Thank you guys as always for joining us. So, my bad for completely forgot the intro, thinking about this godforsaken women's Owen.
Speaking of godforsaken,
weak move. And then we have this, the tag match,
the grudge match.
The tag team grudge match between FTR, Daniel Garcia, and Nigel McGuinness. Honestly, bro, the match wasn't horrible. If you take out the Tony Schiavone trying to boss up on FTR, then the match is a lot better. But honestly, what they did in the end, it put over FTR well, and it made them look good going up against Edge and Christian. So
yeah, it was pretty simple. It was kind of pointless to throw I was gonna call him Regal, goddamn Nigel in there. It was kind of pointless at the end of the day. He kind of just got his ass beat the whole match, and the whole match was just FTR kind of whooping ass. So I think overall it was fine. Made FTR look good. There was some funny moments in there with fucking it was Dax, I think, that he was getting like a choke up in front of Tony Schiavone. Was it Cash or Dax?
it was Cash.
It was Cash. He was getting choked in front of Tony Schiavone, and they were making him say, "Oh, say you're sorry to Schiavone." So he's like, "I'm sorry, whatever," to make him stop. After he regains control, he goes up to Schiavone and goes, "Look, I'm not sorry." That shit was hilarious, man. These guys, they're funny, and I'm really glad that they turned heel, man. It fits them so much fucking better than they were as baby faces, and it was fine. It was a fine match, and I like the direction that FTR is going. Their opponents have no direction, but FTR did good in what they were given tonight.
No, for sure. Yeah, the match was good. It did what it needed to do. It did what it needed to do in terms of set FTR up as menacing heels for eventually what will be Edge and Christian. So you did that, and you did a good job at that. Like I said, just building them up to those guys and just making them as dastardly as you possibly can by going after beloved figures, I guess, or definitely not on this podcast, but maybe to your audience, Tony Schiavone is a beloved figure. Not here, but I think the audience likes Tony. I don't know why, but I think the audience likes Tony. They obviously love Nigel. Some of them like Daniel Garcia. Some of them refuse to admit that he made the wrong decision.
Actually, I did actually see a lot of AEW fans mention that NXT was probably better for him. Dude, that was bad when the AEW fans will genuinely say, Yeah, he probably should have went to NXT. There was dead ass tweets about like their hardcore Twitter fans saying like he should have went to NXT. That probably would have been better for him. That's how you know it's rough out there. That killed me when I saw that.
That is exactly when you know it's rough out here. Yeah,
McDonald's gear.
that's hilarious. Nigel, he has Cash in an arm hold. He takes him over to Tony Schiavone, and he's telling Cash to apologize. So Cash is saying, I'm sorry, Tony, I'm sorry. Cash then ends up getting the offense in, throws Nigel into the barricade, walks back over to Tony Schiavone and said, "Hey, Tony, I'm not sorry for shit." That got a pop out of me.
That was hilarious.
Cash is too funny, bro.
That man is hilarious.
Cash is too funny. Him as a heel,
perfect.
Great stuff. He plays an amazing heel. He really does. So, Tony Schiavone, as Nigel is getting his ass whooped on the outside, is standing up, and he's like ringside, being some sort of, I guess, manager for this group. He's trying to rally on Nigel McGuinness. Nigel ends up getting a shatter machine on the outside, so I don't really think Tony helped very much. And Dax, meanwhile, is in the ring. He puts a sharpshooter in on Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is trying to reach for the rope. Daddy Magic tries getting involved. Cash takes care of him. Nigel McGuinness is so beat up on the outside. He's trying to crawl in to stop it, but Cash is stopping him. Tony's just standing there being useless. And Cash is holding Nigel down while his boy is in a sharpshooter. And Daniel Garcia passes out in, again, minus the Tony Schiavone involvement. I thought the match was fine. I thought it served its purpose of just making FTR look dastardly. Again, you're beating damn near to a pulp a guy like Nigel McGuinness, who everybody loves, and a guy like Tony Schiavone, who AEW thinks everybody loves. You're messing with these guys, and like I said, you are just building FTR up as much and as dastardly as you can before they get to the Adam Copeland return. So job well done. I love seeing the last time they were on pay-per-view, FTR turned heel. So this was our first time really seeing them in action as heels again. And I thought it was great, man. And I do think they work better as heels
Definitely.
than baby faces. 90% of their all-timer classic matches, they are heels. You know what I mean? They tried to make them a baby face. It worked for a little bit. But overall, these guys are just better as heels.
I think they are. I think they really naturally do fit as heels, man. And I think they're doing really good in what they're trying to do right now. So I think overall the match was a success. And I'm very intrigued to see, how Copeland comes back and when and how they, put, Christian in with them and set that up. Very curious to see how they do that. Because they really, haven't set that up yet at all. And All In is the next pay-per-view.
You know what I did see a lot of people saying? I seen a lot of people saying that they may save it for All Out in Toronto because Copeland is from Toronto.
Yeah, I could see that. I wouldn't be shocked at that, to be honest.
At this point, because especially with Nick Wayne being gone for a month, doing the tournament in Japan, the Super Juniors tournament in Japan, you're not really going to have any time by All In to put these two together unless that's where you do the final Copeland and Christian match. But if you do that, you're bringing Copeland back and not having him address FTR, so that I just don't think you'll have time.
Yeah, exactly. What I could see them doing at this point, I don't know when that fucking tournament ends, I could see him probably doing good in that tournament, coming back and kind of having an ego and fucking Big Chess and fucking Christian, and I could see that's where that shit starts, to start, because other than that, what can you do right now? And you got those fucking special episodes of AEW Dynamite, those fucking 2 4-hour episodes of AEW Dynamite coming up, man. So you could do a lot on those. I'm sure something will happen. And that'll basically be like Collision and Dynamite combined for those said weeks. So I'm sure that'll happen. And or is there 3?
We'll see when we get to it.
Okay.
Because I got it pulled up here, so we'll get the news together.
Okay, cool. But it's very interesting. But I think you might be right with it. Might be at All Out at this point instead of All In. I wouldn't be shocked because
now Tony is no stranger to rushing things. But if he did want to do it the right way, All Out would probably be your best bet.
And I feel like with that being fucking Copeland's hometown, I could see them. We're just waiting for All Out. Plus, they probably want to make All Out feel a little bigger nowadays, so I could see them saving it because All Out literally used to just be the scraps of All In, and this year with like the time change or the weekend change and the location change, I feel like they want to put some more stock into it.
Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that. Because, like I said, at this point, you are a month and a week away from All In Texas, and you just quite frankly do not have any time to put Copeland and Christian together as a tag team.
Not in any legitimate way.
Exactly. Now, like I said, if Tony wants something, and if he wants to rush it, he will quite literally just fucking do it. I mean, look back at all those Elite reunions that ended up 3 months afterwards. These guys were all separated again, and just had nothing to do with each other all over again. So he's no stranger to it. But at the end of the day, like I said, if he wanted to do it the right way, then I would probably wait till All In and just kind of let this thing fester over the whole summer. Especially if you want to make them babyface, you might need the whole summer to legitimately make Christian look like the good guy here, because you're going to have, I mean, I already don't know how you're going to do that. And if you're going to attempt it, you need a little bit of time, and a month and a week is not enough time.
It's really not, man. It's not at all. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but I don't think you have the time to do it in any capacity right now. So you got to start putting them plans into place.
For sure. So that was that. Like I said, good match, but Tony Schiavone, man, the hero. The next match was the stretcher match. I use that term ridiculously loosely. The stretcher match between Ricochet and Mark Briscoe.
It was just an ambulance match.
That's the first thing I wrote down, is not true stretcher match. A stretcher match, at least by the WWE terms, or what we all know to be a stretcher match, there is a line on the ramp. You put your opponent on the stretcher, and you got to push them past the line, right? On the ramp. This was a stretcher that was halfway hanging out of an ambulance, but then there was another stretcher that was ringside for some reason.
It was basically, the stretcher was just the weapon, and then the ambulance was the actual ending of the match. I don't know why they didn't just... And didn't they have an ambulance match before in this company and call it an ambulance match? I swear they have. I swear they've had an ambulance match before. There's no way they haven't. Let me look that up real quick.
I wonder.
Because I would think they would have. They're AEW. AEW.
Okay. I think we're back. Okay. Yes. This was not a true stretcher match. Again, by the means that we know it to be, a stretcher match is when you put your opponent on a stretcher and wheel them up the ramp, and then they go past the line on the ramp. That was not tonight. Tonight was an ambulance match. And I don't know why AEW called it a stretcher match, unless WWE has the IP for an ambulance match, but they've also done a stretcher match. So I feel like they would have, if they were to own it, I feel like they would own stretcher match as well. But they opted to call it a stretcher match, and it was not a stretcher match. It was an ambulance match.
I mean, I was shocked to hear that they have like triple threat trademarked, and how AEW has to call like a 3-way.
Yeah.
Even though doesn't like New Japan call it a triple threat? It might be like it's probably just an American IP, because I know it's different country to country. So, but yeah, I was shocked when I found that out. So, I mean, you're shocked when certain things are trademarked.
Very true. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they let the IP for a stretcher match go, because the last stretcher match was 11 years ago in WWE. At least from what I looked up, it was John Cena versus Kane in 2014. So yeah, this was maybe they let it go and AEW took it, but yeah, this was not a stretcher match. This was an ambulance match, and to start the match, very early on, we got a shooting star press on the stretcher.
Oof.
That Mark Briscoe moved, and Ricochet just landed straight on the stretcher.
Brutal.
Off a shooting star press. Mark Briscoe would then get Ricochet on the stretcher and hit him with an elbow drop while he was on the stretcher. He then grabs a cleaning bucket, and he pulls out a spray bottle with some green substance in it. And it is their, i.e.
Oh.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Literally.
This is the color that what was in. This is the cleaning product.
The cleaning product
that Excalibur was talking about. And I don't think it was a cleaning product. I think it was Mountain Dew Baja.
His head was probably so sticky.
To make his head sticky.
For the spot, he did it to like shine his head. But if that was actually Mountain Dew Baja Blast, his head was probably sticky as hell for the rest of that match. That was probably so annoying.
Probably.
But the match was really fun, dude. I enjoyed a lot of those spots. I like how they incorporated the stretcher. It wasn't a stretcher match, but I like the weapon, and we'll get to more details about the match. But it's a really good match. I was very shocked with how fun it was.
It was very fun. It was very, very fun. So he starts cleaning Ricochet's head. He then smacks him with the metal bucket that had the cleaning product in it.
Which, side note, dude, commentary tonight,
all-timer.
Holy hell, dude! You gotta do something about that goddamn commentary. I never noticed until me and you started making jokes about it tonight how much Shivani and Excalibur, when like something happens, they'll be in the middle of saying something and then just start yelling what they're saying. Oh my god, with the bucket! And, like shit, like with the cleaning product. They just, dude, it's so bad, dude. Their commentary is horrible. I feel so bad for Taz, man. He's just sitting there every night, just fucking, because he's got to deal with these two goofs, just goofing off the whole fucking time.
I cannot wait when we get to some of these matches. Some of the stuff that was being said, I'm just like
dog.
But all night with Tony Schiavone, like we kept cracking up laughing because he would yell the most random word out of the sentence, dude. Like he would be like, Ricochet in the air onto the stretcher. And like,
what are you
why didn't you yell stretcher? Like
stretcher.
If you're gonna yell anything, why would you the most random word? And like, do you guys remember when Roddy used to just like yell the most random word? But it was a part of his shtick. He did it on purpose. Roddy would just yell the most random fucking word, and Excalibur does the same thing, bro.
It's so bad. Off the ropes. Fucking just the most random shit.
Off the rope with the lariat. Like,
what are you talking about, dude? Why are you doing that?
Bro, what the fuck, man?
Commentary is so bad.
It gets somehow it gets even better.
It gets worse. Which is better.
Yeah. So So he cleans Ricochet's head. He hits him with the bucket. He then goes for the Sabu chair spot, where he runs up the chair, stands on the top rope, and then goes for the elbow onto the outside, or the leg drop onto the outside, whatever he was going to do. He better be lucky. Ricochet threw the chair at his head to stop him from executing the move, because if you look at the replay, he was going to completely fuck that up. He completely jumped over the chair and his foot went through the chair.
Oh yeah, he would have got fucking just trip lined by that chair and rope so hard, man. So it was actually a good thing that Ricochet stopped that move.
Yeah.
He would have went face first into the fucking ring apron.
So these two are fighting a little bit on the outside. Ricochet uses his scissors. He starts stabbing up Mark Briscoe. So Mark's bleeding out of his head. Mark and brawl up towards the ambulance. Ricochet stashed a pair of scissors in the ambulance as well. So he stabbed up Mark Briscoe some more in the head. Mark Briscoe, because he had the other pair of scissors that Ricochet had, he went to stab him back with the scissors. Ricochet hit him with a low blow, stabbed him a little bit more, threw him in the back of the ambulance, closed the doors, and that was it. Ricochet finally, this man,
He gotta win.
this man finally picked up a fucking victory in AEW, man. I never thought I never thought we'd see it, bro. I never thought we'd see it. However, what I did think we would see is Mark Briscoe taking another loss. So Mark Briscoe loses again, but Ricochet does not. Ricochet is a winner tonight.
Look at that, man. At least somebody won. Good for Ricochet. It was a really good match. I like what they did here. Shockingly fun match, man. I didn't think I'd be that invested in this match. And it was really good, man. It was a fun match. And really wonder what's next for Rick. I wonder what Ricochet's gonna do it all in.
You know what? Maybe based off tonight, maybe they run it back with Ospreay and Ricochet.
Maybe.
Because they did have a match in the the Continental Classic. Their first match when Ricochet was like 3 weeks into the company, and they gave us the match already. It got interrupted. It got interrupted. So it was it wasn't a clean match. The other one, Ricochet, I think.
The fuck never happens. Oh. Yeah. Look, yeah, man. I might not mind that, man. I might not mind that.
No, for sure. That very well could be the route. That very well could be the route for him, man. But yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, shit. I didn't envision Will Ospreay's world title run coming as a heel, but honestly, bro, based off what we've seen tonight, they could be the direction they're going.
It could be, because because they got Hangman, who's on that baby face, return to a baby face.
Mm-hmm.
They got Kenny, who's a baby face. I feel like after the Bucks are done with all this like EVP stuff, they're gonna be a baby face again. So they could be like, well, if we need a little more heels, let's do with because a lot of the AEW heels don't do anything. Half of them are in the Don Callis family, and they don't do anything. You know what I mean? You don't have a lot of heels actually working in your main event scene right now.
Yeah.
So maybe that Will Ospreay could fill that hole, man. I wouldn't mind that.
He very well could.
Mm-hmm.
He very, very well could. I could see that being the case. Because, yeah, at this point, I don't know what either of these guys does at Double or Nothing.
I have no clue.
Or at All In. So, that was that. The next match.
Sons of Texas.
The Sons of Texas versus the Hurt Syndicate.
The Hurt Syndicate have the hottest story on your weekly television overall, and you give them one of the weakest matches on the show. You give them Sammy Washed Guevara and Old Man Dustin Rhodes as a tag team as their opponents. No no storyline for them for their match at the pay-per-view when they had the best story on weekly television up until this pay-per-view. Dog, what? What? It was literally just they came in, they beat them obviously, and that was it, dog. That was literally it. What was the point to this? At this point, instead of this match, you should have just did the little contract signing segment here and called it a fucking day. I would have probably enjoyed that more, to be honest.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I will give it that because I saw that Tony Khan said he wants to build up his tag team division again because he was actually asked about women's tag team titles and he said that he doesn't want to plan to do that right now because he wants to focus on his men's tag team titles.
Good.
So I respect him just trying to like put a tag team. At this point, I probably would have rather taken Crew over these two in the match. I think that probably would have been a little better of a match.
I think so.
But
I think so.
I respect it for just having a good just a tag team match of your tag team division on the show. But like, this is what you give. All right.
Yeah, and at least with Crew, there is a little bit of history there with Leo and Bobby. I agree with
Bobby.
that. I agree. Got history, Bobby.
I fucking love his voice, dude.
We that fucking killed me, dude. When he, oh my god, hey Bobby, we got history, Bobby. Yeah, again, he's got history with Bobby. So I thought, and again, Shelton, Benjamin and Bobby, they have, they're, I guess sort of powerhouses.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Crew are high flyers. I think that would have meshed a little bit better than this. This match was based around the MJF involvement. There was no appeal to this, in my honest opinion. So you're saying Tony Khan says he wants to build up his tag division, huh?
Would have been nice to, use like real tag teams on your division. Like, I don't know,
The
Outrunners. You claimed you broke them
broke them up.
Haven't done anything with either of those two. Even fucking Billy Gunn isn't around. Where are the Guns? You wasted their return on a what? I would rather. You know what? Why don't you return the Guns before this pay-per-view and have that be the pay-per-view match here?
No, they wanted to do that on Dynamite
On
instead.
fucking Dynamite, dog. Like, you have tag teams. You have some of them. You have the Guns. You have the Outrunners. You probably have more on Collision than I have fucking no idea are still employed. Use them. Why are you using Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara? What? This is like the Wash 2019 tag team, dog. Like, I don't want to see these two. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so MJF was trying to help. The Syndicate here, and Bobby was very annoyed with Max. He was, telling him that they don't need his help, and he's trying to give Benjamin Shelton the ring. He's trying to help. Bobby's annoyed with it. Benjamin Shelton, he kind of wants to take MJF's help. So they're on the outside, and MJF is him and Dustin Rhodes are hitting each other behind the referee's back, and MJF goes to pull out the ring. Bobby stops him. He kind of gives MJF a smile, gives him knuckles, and then he spears Dustin Rhodes through the barricade. Meanwhile, MJF and Bobby are celebrating on the outside. Sammy Guevara goes to do a suicide dive onto the outside, and Shelton,
Benjamin
Shelton, he does, he meets him halfway with a knee to stop him from diving onto his boys, gets in the ring, hits him with that running up the ropes jumping knee he does in the corner, hits him with a thrust kick, according to Excalibur, a super kick, and he wins the match for the Hurt Syndicate. So this the story of the Hurt Syndicate's tag team title reign, and I don't know how this is viewed. I don't know how Tony Khan sees this as building up your tag division. The story of this tag team division, while the Hurt Syndicate has been tag team champions, you have good teams. You have them pop in for a match, or a match, or I don't even want to say a match or two. Half the time it's just a match.
A match.
and then they go away, and we
Yeah.
never seen them again. They did it with Private Party. They did it with the Guns. They did it with the Outrunners. They've done it with wasn't there another team that they faced
Guns.
in there?
There was who was it?
Fuck, I can't remember. But
That's the problem.
But yeah, it was point proven. So yeah, I mean, it is something that is a big problem in AEW's tag team division, and I really wish Tony would you know, make sense out of what he's saying before he says it, because you're saying one thing, you're spitballing one thing, and you're completely doing another. What good is it for a young tag team like the Guns to pop in, take a loss to the Hurt Syndicate, and go right fucking back to where they came from?
Or Private Party. Young people love them. You have a chance to they lose the tag team titles, and instead of getting a momentum building story back for them, we literally haven't seen them since they lost those titles. We might have seen them the week after, maybe, but literally have not seen them in a general capacity after their title loss. And you could have been building them up back, or doing some type of redemption, some type of something with them. You have tag teams, and you use Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara again, Outrunners, fucking Crew, Private Party, the Guns. You have people, dude, and you're just dropping them like flies for no reason when you have what are better matches than what this could have been on the table that you just didn't do. I don't understand that thought process here, man. I really hope he steps it up and starts using these tag teams better. I'm glad he wants to use them and wants to build up his tag teams again. Do that. Do that with real tag teams.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and you know, I don't know. Something just needs to be done to make this feel fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to be done to make this feel fresh, man. It would be it would be nice if AEW introduced something. I know they don't want to do a draft, and I know they don't want 2 shows. That'll probably, splitting the tag team rosters, I'm not saying is your solution. But obviously they're not going to do a draft. How nice would it be if AEW did an off season, even if it was just a month?
Yeah. It would be, I think, or if you are gonna do 2 separate shows, we have a trios division, put the trios on one show, tag teams on the other, and you could have a rule between the two. If a group gains somebody, they move over to the other show and they become a trio. If a trio loses somebody, they got to move over to the other show and be a tag team if they want to be together. That's a simple rule of keeping people in those 2 divisions and even rotating them. Maybe someone moves shows not because they were drafted or because they lost. Maybe they just lost one of their members and now they have no other choice but to go other to that. Or maybe they gain a member and do something else. I think that might. Who even are the trios champions?
That's what. Well, that's my thing, man. AEW was at a point where I thought having a trios division would help.
It really didn't.
All it's done is hinder.
Mm-hmm.
All it's done is damage, and yes, like you said, muddy up the division, because Tony Khan is so. He loves the idea of putting tag teams with people.
He does.
He cannot just have a tag team. You know what I mean?
They have to be with somebody.
Look at the Acclaimed. They have Billy Gunn. Billy's a great manager, but then what do? Well, let's put him in the trios division.
Like, no, trios are for like fat. And literally, you don't need the trios titles if you enable Freebird rules in your tag team, which you sparingly turn on and off. Sometimes you have people relinquish the titles because you don't have Freebird rules, and sometimes you don't. Like, have it consistent, and look what WWE used to always do with the New Day. It was whoever they needed to wrestle in said match, that they did it. And I think that's a better option for trios in a tag team division. Just let it float between the guys if you need to.
That's my thing, too. And I know Tony won't do it because it's admitting defeat. But honestly, get rid of the trios titles
I
and
would.
just do a Freebird rule.
Yeah, I think that
know?
would just be a better system, dude.
I think it would, because you may have groups that people care about. You do not have enough groups people care about.
No, you don't. You really don't.
And even if you do have a big group and you say, "Oh, I got this big group. That they're a big enough group. I feel like I want to put the trios titles on them." Look at the Death Riders. They get the titles, do nothing.
Do nothing. And it would be better if you have a big group, got some guys with the tag team, you got the mid card, and you got the world. So when people come in, somebody in each division benefits from beating that whole team instead of just one team benefits. You have a whole different section of people in different divisions benefiting from beating them instead of just, oh, trios titles, oh, they want them now. It'll be better for your show.
It would. It absolutely would, man. So I just really wish Tony would really practice what he is preaching, because yeah, I mean, dude, if you really want to focus in on your tag team division, you really got to stop some of these really, really bad habits that kill your division, like bringing a team back. We're back, we're challenging. What they did with the Guns was just straight up despicable.
Oh, I was so stupid, dude.
Straight up despicable. Air vignettes for the guys to make a fucking 2-week comeback and gone.
I haven't seen them since. Literally haven't seen them since. Like, dog.
It's stuff like that, man.
People like them too. People like a lot of these tag teams that you'd never use.
Yeah. So I don't understand, man. I really don't understand. But yeah, again, something I would do, man, is seriously consider getting rid of those trios championships. Those things are not sought after at all. I can hardly remember who they are, even though they are still dabbled in the main event scene with the Death Riders. I still don't know who has them. And again, the guys that are the champions are, again, they mix it up with the main event group right now. The Death Riders, and I still barely remember who it is.
Exactly.
You got to get rid of those things, man. Again, at the time, I thought it would help organize your show, because you were doing a bunch of 6-man tags for no reason, and then we got the trios, and now you do 8-mans for no reason.
And back in the early days, your no reason 6-mans involved like actual groups facing each other, but now most of your 6 and 8-mans and your all-star this and that, they're just the most random singles guys in your mid-card division just facing each other every time, and it never makes sense, dude. So genuinely, get rid of the trios, enable Freebird rules on your fucking tag team titles, and your whole problem solved right there, dude. It really is.
Yep. So that is that. The Hurt Syndicate beat the Sons of Texas in a match that I don't think anybody wanted to see. But like I said, this match was literally just on the show for MJF involvement, and for, I guess, just chemistry building or story building with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. So that was that. The next match, for the Continental Championship, Kazuchika Okada versus Speedball Bailey. Why does commentary call him Speedball Bailey?
Speedball Bailey.
Just call him Speedball.
Just
Or just call him Mike Bailey. Or just Bailey.
You don't like what is Speedball Bailey? Call him one or call him the other.
These guys had a great match. These guys had a great match. I am a very big fan of Mike Bailey. You talk about a guy that I want to see AEW really prop up there.
He's one of them.
He's one at the top of the list, very close to the top of the list. This fucking guy, nonstop. All I heard is how he was a spot monkey and he was all this shit, has no charisma. I actually think he has a decent charisma about him.
Yeah.
And I actually really like Mike Bailey. I think he's very good. And again, he's one of these guys that I would really love to see AEW do more with.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
I do not want him to slot into the Mark Briscoe role where he's just a bona fide loser. I think he's very good, and I like him a lot. Like I said, he kind of plays to the crowd, shows a little bit of charisma. You know, he's not you know, a glorified fucking doorknob.
No.
Like we see from some of these guys that AEW brings in, and that really
Josh Alexander.
that really yeah, we'll get to him in a minute, but but yeah, I mean, some of these guys that they bring in, man, again, dude, that quite literally, my fucking microphone stand, the stand that my camera is on, has more charisma than some of these guys. That's what they said about Speedball, and again, I actually think he has a decent little charisma about him, man. Again, he's not
He's not Hangman Page with his storytelling.
Yeah, he's not, you know, 2018 Adam Cole with the swag, or he's not, you know, he's not just oozing fucking charisma.
He definitely beats current Adam Cole with the swag, though.
Holy shit, who doesn't? I was, but yeah, man. Again, you know, he's not like, again, like just off the charts with his charisma, but he's not as bad as people said he was.
Not at all, man. He really shocked me with how good he was in a bunch of different aspects, man. I love his match style. It's very hard hitting and striking. That's really good. He has some charisma, dude. He's a charismatic guy. He plays up to the crowd well. He can generally talk, and I think he's really good in his role, man, especially in AEW compared to other people in, you know, his league. He's a league above them, a lot of them. So I really like him, and I really hope they use him more. He got to, you know, face Okada. Great fucking match, man. Very obviously, it was going to be a very obvious ending. We all know what they're setting up at all ends. So no one thought that you know, Mike Bailey would have won here, but you know, I think you mentioned it while we were watching the match. When they combine those titles into hopefully the Intercontinental title, please. I hope Speedball's one of the first people to beat him or to gain that title from whoever wins that said match, man. Because I think he should be propped up in this company as one of those future guys. Him, Takeshita, I was gonna call him Kyle Fletcher. I was gonna call him Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle Fletcher. He's in those league of like young guys that I actually want to see be used and propped up, man.
Kyle Fletcher would be another good candidate.
He
now
would.
that you say that.
He'd be, if anything, yeah, because I feel like Kenny is going to be the one
Same.
to beat him. I would have Kyle Fletcher beat Kenny, and then Mike Bailey beat Kyle Fletcher, because
like
those
that.
are people I want to be propped up, man. And it's going to look good beating, even though I wouldn't be shocked if Takeshita beats Kenny, because he's beat him before, and they kind of have the thing where he's got his number. Either or, you have those like 4 like young guys that you could really prop up, and I hope you do it in some capacity, man. Mike Bailey's great. He would have been a god in NXT, man. I say it every time I watch the fucking guy.
Oh,
He would have been a god over there in NXT, and he's really good over here in AEW, and I really hope they don't slot him in that Mark Briscoe. We like him, but we don't want to really like use him.
he's a good hand.
He's a good soldier. I hope he doesn't just become a good soldier. That's never a good thing to become in a company, man. And I hope they really prop him up.
For sure. Okada went for the Rainmaker, and it got countered into the Time Adventure. Every time Excalibur just says time, normal as can be, and then just yells adventure.
Time Adventure.
He hits him with a Time Adventure for a near fall. He then hits him with another Time Adventure for a rope break. Hits him for a rope break. He then goes for the Ultimo Weapon off the top rope, and Okada meets him halfway with a drop kick. That was a great spot.
Oh, it was an incredible spot.
Yeah, and immediately gets on top of him, hits him with a Rainmaker to secure himself the victory, as Okada has completed his final defense, maybe. His final defense on
Probably.
pay-per-view before he gets to Omega at All In. So this is this was a very good match, man. This was a very good match. I don't know what's up with Excalibur, but regardless, I thought this was a great match. And I thought I thought both guys did a great job. Speedball yet again shows that he is he is amazing, and he is hopefully a huge future player in AEW, man, because again, every time the guy goes out there, he shows up and he shows out, and I really hope AEW does reward him with some sort of championship or some sort of serious accolade sooner rather than later.
I hope so. I really hope so. I hope they prop him up in some regard. And he's really good. He fucking, I just want more every time he's put on the show.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that was that. And we got the Women's World Championship match. Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa.
Hopefully this isn't her last title defense, but
this probably is her last title
probably,
defense
man.
on pay-per-view. The match was okay.
Mm-hmm.
The match was okay. I thought it was good. You know, it wasn't anything spectacular in my eyes, man. But I mean, it was a good match. It was a good match for what it was. There was a lot of Luther involvement. It got pretty good towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So the match starts off and these two are dancing. They're dancing. They're having a bit of a dance off, I guess. Luther, a little bit later in the match, Mina goes to run at Toni Storm on the outside. Luther gets involved, and he gets low-blowed by Mina. Mina then jumps over him to do a like twisting body splash onto Toni Storm, and they get in the ring. Toni Storm hits, I want to say, a hip attack on Mina, and Tony Schiavone just yells, "Mina just ate that head," and then he just stops. And I look at Sergey, and I said, "Did he just say she just ate that head?"
She ate that head. I don't know what they were doing in the ring.
The fuck does that mean?
I didn't think I saw that, but yeah, that was a line from Tony Schiavone.
Poor Taz. So I think that this was one of the rare moments where their stupidity kind of rubs off on him. He says, "This is a great match for the AEW Women's World Championship."
God damn it, Taz. Fucking A.
"This is a great match for the AEW Women's World Championship."
It's like when you put this man by two idiots. They fucking sometimes it just infects this man.
I was gonna say it's all right, Taz.
He might have to start wearing like a COVID mask or something when he's on commentary.
Yeah, or that fucking head brace that Josh Alexander wears so he can cover his fucking ears.
From these two.
Holy fuck. These two trade-off headbutts. As Tony gets a pretty good one in, hits her with a Storm Zero for the victory, as Toni Storm is on a collision course for Mrs. Monet at All In Texas, and
fucking hit the graphic after this match instantly, which great looking graphics.
Yeah,
I love like the whole like
Star.
Texas color. Yeah, looks dope, but like, dog, come on.
Fuck.
I'm scared for that match, man. But this was a good match, good title defense. Obviously, they had, the story that they didn't really, enhance. They kind of just picked up and used as a crux for this match, man. But it was fine.
Yeah.
It's AEW at the end of the day.
After the match, these two have a standoff and then they kiss.
Why not? I guess.
Yep. So these two, I guess,
They made up and made out.
they did, except it is a triangle no more.
Yep. No mention of the love triangle. Who was the third person in that love triangle commentary?
Who else was in that love triangle?
Hmm.
So that was that. That was that, man. And if you are getting ready for that big day, just like Tony Storm did, you're getting ready for that big kiss. Maybe you got jitters, man. Maybe you got jitters. Maybe you want to get rid of those jitters. We got just the thing to help you guys out, man. Dubby Energy. Dubby is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. Again, man, you're getting ready for that big day. You're getting jitters just like my co-host over here. You're getting those big jitters. You need something to calm you down for the big day. Well, Dubby is a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can go ahead, get your Dubby products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourself 10% on your next Dubby purchase. Again, man, save yourself from the jitters of the big day.
Truly, always got to shout out Dubby. Whether it's workout, whatever may give you the jitters, man. Sometimes you get the jitters with certain things, man. But for one thing, it won't be Dubby, man. So if you got to stay up, especially tonight, it's AEW. It's an AEW pay-per-view. We're up till midnight. Always are. So if you want the energy, you don't want to be shaking in your seat.
Like Mystical.
Exactly. You don't want to be shaking in your seat. If you want to be up but calm and just energized and focused, try Dubby. It'll taste good at the same time. Always shout out Dubby.
Yes, sir. So, yes, as always, shout out Dubby, the official sponsor of Notorious Heels, man. So, with that, Anarchy in the Arena.
Man, they really never miss with these things.
No.
I think I saw someone mention it, and it might be AEW's like best gimmick match that they constantly do.
It's the best gimmick match that everybody gets upset about every year for no reason, because then they love it when it happens.
They love it because it's always good. It's like getting mad at a War Games. Like, why are you mad that we're getting something that's gonna be dope? I don't get it, but it was really good tonight. It was really good. The beginning, and we'll get to it, the beginning was a little slow, if I'm going to be honest, but it really fucking picked up.
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah, these people, the people that get mad at this match, like we always say, those are the people that love War Games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people that never complain, and they say WWE's cooking with the War Games this year. If you're going to complain about one, please complain about the other. Again, I've been on record saying, look, would I do this shit every single year?
No.
Probably not. But am I going to get upset and think, oh, another year of this shit? No, because they're always fucking good.
Exactly.
Again, do I think it would benefit to take a break, just maybe a year, 2 years? Yes.
Oh, yeah. But it's every wrestling company always has those things that they do every year.
Yeah.
And they're just going to do it every year because it's a hit every year. And if it's a hit, might as well do it every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't get it. But something was missing from the beginning of this match. And I think it ended up being the choice of song.
Oh, most definitely.
I think that was just completely ridiculous. The match starts off. The match starts off, and we got, Willow face planted on the barricade, legit, damn near done belly flopped on the barricade, and it looked horrible. So Marina Shafir picked her up and then suplexed her on the barricade. Looked horrible as well.
One thing about this match, before the match, dude, entrances, we'll get to the Young Bucks, but other than that, a lot of people had sick-ass entrances, dude.
Yeah.
Swerve coming out in his like Predator gear, and then his Tron was the thermal vision that the Predator usually has. sick as fuck. Kenny Omega coming out with a trash can, like Captain America shield with like, you know, an American Captain America themed gear. Super dope.
Yeah, it was tough.
And then the fucking Young Bucks come out as the fucking 4 founding fathers, and dressed up like fucking dorks.
They legit, I don't know how many of you played Assassin's Creed 3. I know a lot of people hate that game, but I fucking love Assassin's Creed 3.
Really?
I love it.
People hate that one? I always thought that was like the biggest one.
People fucking hate that game.
Really? I did not know that.
They hate it. So, because it was the first one away from like the Ezio,
Yeah.
all that kind of.
You know, people would change.
Yeah, people fucking hate Assassin's Creed 3. I love Assassin's Creed 3. It's between that one or Black Flag. That's my favorite. They dead ass came out, again, for any of you who are familiar with that game, they dead ass walked out here looking like Haytham Kenway.
They literally dressed as founding fathers, dog. Full get up, dude. Not like a wrestling entrance version of it. Dead ass, full fucking fit, dog.
Wrestled the whole match like that too.
Didn't like take off the big fucking jacket they had. It no, straight up wrestled in fucking LARPing gear. What the fuck? And then they had fucking Justin Roberts do a year he fucking founding father speech. Why? I get you're doing the founding fathers of a. You don't have to dress up as founding fathers, dog. Come on.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice of gear. But or at least, dude, take them goofy big ass jackets off, bro. But whatever. So yeah, Swerve's gear was, dude, the lasers.
Oh, that was so sick.
The lasers, bro, and then the mask, the thermal vision on the Trons, like you said, it was awesome. Kenny Omega's entrance was pretty sick. The ops, and then the Death Riders came out, and there was legit, when I tell you, you would think the arena was taking a moment of silence.
Dog, pure silence. Not because dead ass, just straight stone face silence from the fans, dude. From not even when their like song hit, from when they were first had the camera on them, when they pulled up backstage in their fucking Silverado and fucking stopped in front of the gate.
Yeah.
From that moment until they kind of like all like got in the ring and like tensions actual like, okay, match is about to happen, straight silence, dude. Like stone face silence. Insane.
So Young Bucks, like, you know, they come out to this like founding fathers, you know, like theme song, I guess. And this is the song we started off with for Anarchy in the Arena. Holy shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, something is just missing. And I was like, I think it's this song.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like last year we had the Final Countdown.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that we had, or no, 2 years ago we had Wild Thing. I think we had Wild Thing play for 2 years.
I think it was the first 2 were Wild Thing, and then they did the Final Countdown last year.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. And this year we have this shit. The Founding Fathers Haytham Kenway theme song.
Assassin's Creed menu theme song.
So Kenny Omega says, hey, change this. And what comes on, which, being that what ended up happening, I will say they are geniuses for doing
For
this.
the little swerve, but
they start playing the Pointer Sisters. No, not the Pointer Sisters song from GTA. The the second trailer. They start playing the Pointer Sisters I'm So Excited. That fucking Dynamite theme song that lasted for a week before Tony Khan was warned that his fan base fucking hated it.
So for like a 2-3 months straight, we literally didn't even have a Dynamite opening theme.
Nope.
They just cut that part from the show.
It just was a cold open.
It literally was, and now they did something where they have an actual decent theme song.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the song they went with. I'm so excited. And like, dude, everyone's face in the match, they all just looked up like, huh?
Dude, Swerve's face.
Bro, Swerve did the...
He's like,
huh? That shit. Man.
So Kenny's trying to rally the troops, and Swerve says, all right, whatever. So the baby faces start getting an offense. Tony Schiavone with the biggest shut the fuck up line of the night. Tell me this guy is not just the biggest shill commentator you've ever heard in your entire life. He's sitting there and he's just, you could just hear it in his voice. He's all giddy. He goes, man, listening to good tunes, kicking ass, and celebrating 6 years of AEW. Motherfucker, this is Anarchy in the Arena.
This is the Death Riders versus the baby faces of the company. They want to hurt each other. That's why we have this match happening.
Listening to good tunes, kicking ass, and celebrating 6 years of AEW.
You're not playing your JBL speaker and playing some fucking Mortal Kombat. You're watching the fucking Anarchy in the Arena match. You goddamn dork. I hate him. I can't stand him on commentary.
He's so fucking ass, dude. He's so ass, bro.
He is horrible in his job, dude. Horrible.
What was that line? That just perfectly encapsulated what Anarchy in the Arena means.
Just
kicking ass, listening to good tunes, and celebrating 6 years of AEW. Yeah, because an Anarchy in the Arena match against the fucking Death Riders, the guys that are trying to take over the company, sounds like a celebratory moment.
Like, no, you idiot.
Fuck.
Oh, I hate him.
What the You know, we were watching Dark Side of the Ring, and whenever they fucking play clips of old WCW, we can hear Tony Schiavone. Or whenever they play clips of, like, even old territory stuff, and we hear clips of Tony Schiavone, we're still like, what the fuck is he saying?
He was always bad, dude. Why did you bring him back? He's not good.
Fuck.
Maybe at least as a commentator. Put him backstage as an interviewer, dog. I don't get it.
Kenny says, he gets on the mic again. He says, I like this song. It's a good song, but this doesn't really fit the vibe. I thought that was a great callback to all the fans that said that this does not fit the vibe of professional wrestling.
No.
That song. So he says, let's update this a little more. Let's bring this to some early 2000s. So they start playing Bodies.
Hey.
This got the crowd going. These motherfuckers, they legitimately might have been jumping. They absolutely started going nuts. I thought this was a great choice of song. There's obviously a lot you could have played there. I thought this was great, though. I thought this was a great choice, and evidently it really got the crowd into it for sure. A hell of a lot more than the Pointer Sisters.
It really turned the pace of this match up instantly when this song started playing. They picked the perfect song for this scenario, and the crowd fucking loved it, dude.
They should have started playing like that.
I'm telling you, could play like TV Off or
Boomin'.
By
Fetty Wap.
That's a Paragon. That should be the Paragon's theme song. But they picked the perfect song, man. They ended up picking the perfect song.
Or it could be Big AJ's theme song.
No, it could. It could. That would be good, man. Where have they been, dude? They fell off.
They will be at All in Texas.
They will be at All. They did say that, man.
We will see the Rizzler
at All in Texas. I need to see the Rizzler, man. Where is he, man? Where's the goat?
He'll be there. He'll be there. So they start playing Bodies, and Mox is sorry, not Mox. Kenny Omega and Wheeler Yuta are fighting on the balcony, and they are about to Wheeler is trying to suplex Kenny off of the balcony as there's a bunch of security coincidentally standing right where they would land, saying, no, don't do it.
No, don't
Instead
do
of
it.
going up there and trying to stop them, they're standing directly in the landing zone with their hands up saying, no,
don't land right here and fall on us so we could grab you. Don't do that.
He does not succeed with throwing Kenny off of the balcony as Powerhouse Hobbs Powerhouse Hobbs walks up there, grabs a hold of Wheeler Yuta, and picks him up like he's his son, and just throws him over the balcony onto the guys that were coincidentally standing there, hoping Wheeler Yuta did not fall exactly right where they were standing, which is exactly where he would have landed anyways. So he falls on them.
Yeah.
He falls on them. Moxley then starts battling with Powerhouse Hobbs, and he starts stabbing Hobbs. What was he stabbing him with? A fork?
I don't know what that was. I guess it was a fork. He does use like forks a lot as his weapon, so it probably was, but I couldn't tell. But it was probably a fork. But he was stabbing like him like the whole first quarter of the match.
Yeah.
Literally just and right to his forehead the whole time, and just to Hobbs, bro. I don't know what beef he had with Hobbs, but he was fucking letting that steam off, I guess.
Yeah, he was letting him have it for sure. So, he gets him. He was stabbing him in the crowd. They get back like towards the ringside area. He's still stabbing him. Then they get in the ring, and he's still stabbing him. Hobbs is bloodied at this point, as there's a table set up in the corner. Moxley ends up getting speared through said table. He ends up getting speared through the table by Powerhouse Hobbs. We then go outside as Marina Shafir and Willow Nightingale are battling in the parking lot, as they are fighting on top of what was a catering table. There's a pan there, and there's some tin, some little tin food trays that they're using. Willow slams her on top of the table. It does not break, and she slammed her on top of the table. It did not break. She then takes her over by the truck and hits her over the head with a bottle.
Fuck.
Hits her over the head with a bottle, and all of a sudden, Shibata and Wheeler Yuta come outside right where Willow and Marina are, and then they just walk back inside.
Fucking throw them out the door, punch them, grab them, and throw them back through the door, and the camera follows them. What's the point of tossing them outside, dog? Shibata was in the last year fucking FTR spot of just being there.
Bro.
Oh, dude, what happens next with Shibata is even fucking worse.
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. So Shibata and Wheeler Yuta are in the back, and he throws Wheeler Yuta into this like giant wheelbarrow that's like for trash.
Mm-hmm.
And Wheeler is inside of this thing, and he runs him at the fucking garage freight door. The wheelbarrow hits the door, completely turns on its side, and when it swings to its side, Shibata just fucking goes flying into the door.
Instead of, winding it back and throwing the thing, he ran with it. It hit the fucking door, sent him sideways, and launched him into the door. And then he just dumped fucking Wheeler Yuta out the goddamn basket.
Oh, man.
Dog, like, what? It looks so stupid.
That is hilarious. That was fucking hilarious, bro. So he then gets Wheeler out of the thing, puts him on a chair, and then gives him a punt kick to the chest with barbed wire wrapped around his kick pad. That was actually cool.
That was cool.
That was cool, because I don't know what the fuck that spot he just did was. Why would you run with the wheelbarrow?
Just throw it.
Just to throw yourself into a fucking steel garage door.
Fucking hell.
So Swerve is on the stage. We then cut back to Swerve on the stage. He's battling with the Young Bucks. He gives Matt a house call. Nick then gives him a Canadian Destroyer on the stage. By the way, love the stage. Love the shape of the stage. It kind of looked like a mini all-in stage from last year.
I was going to say, I really like like you said, I really like the look of this stage. It was kind of like, those like movie theater like front areas where it's like the three thing. It's kind of what it looked like to me, and I love the look of it. I thought it was a really sick stage, and I thought it when I didn't notice they weren't there with the casino chips, but it really wasn't like a gambling themed thing. It was like a desert themed show. So I like what they went with for this. I really did. Like the glowing cactuses on the screen. I
And
love
then
it.
like the AEW logo on that top header part was like spelled in like constellations.
It was. And then you mentioned it during the show, but on the barricade behind the logo was like that like Native American like blanket style patterns.
Yeah,
And that was really sick too.
very cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, very cool. Like what they did there for sure. But yes, so he gets a Canadian destroyer from Nick on top of the stage. He no sells it, then hits Nick with a house call of its own, of his own. He then jumps off the stage to try to go at Claudio, and Claudio hits him. Claudio hits him to stop it. Throws him on the ground and starts doing the Cesaro swing to Strickland and swings him right into a speaker that was the speaker for the music. So the music shut off.
Mm-hmm.
The music shut off, and that was their way of doing it. I know the first year we got it, Chris Jericho unplugged the soundboard. Last year, I can't remember what the Blackpool and Elite one was.
I
I can't
don't
remember what that one was, but I do remember last year it was, I believe, Matt calling for the song to be shut off because they were EVPs and they didn't want to pay for the song any longer.
Oh yeah, he said like, we can't pay for this shit, shut it off.
Yeah.
So that was funny, and I like how they did it this year. He ran him into the speaker.
Yeah, that was a nice way of doing it for sure. Because by that point they had played the song like 4 times in a row.
It was
so it was kind of like it was time to shut it off.
Exactly.
Sure. So yeah, he gets swung into the speaker, and as soon as he did that, Powerhouse Hobbs absolutely comes from out of nowhere and trucks this man Claudio into what Excalibur called the ammo crates.
I don't know what they're moving. I don't know what. Ammo? What are you doing, bruh? But they took those like production crates and made like fake versions to like run through, and that was a really cool spot too.
It was very cool. So we then get back ringside with the Bucks and Omega, where Omega goes to jump over the top rope, I believe. Yes, he goes to jump over the top rope, and they stop him to the point where he is hung up on the top rope. Nick comes off the top, kicks him in the upper back, and Kenny Omega slingshots into a power bomb through a table from Matt Jackson. That was a beautiful spot. I was scared he was going to hit his head on the ring apron, but he pulled it off with ease.
It was.
He pulled it off with ease, so it looked nice. Meanwhile, Willow Nightingale is locked up. Marina Shafir locked her to the ring post by her ear piercing. She's got one of those big ear piercings, and she locked her up by it, and that looked pretty gnarly.
Your dad.
So Matt then is on the stage as commentary calls him Nick.
That happened a lot during this match, and I think it's because both of them had their hair down and they were dressed exactly the fucking same. So, because AEW commentary, they fuck up. Before this match, I don't ever remember them fucking up which one is which. So I think the retire is the main reason for that tonight, because it kept happening throughout the match.
Yeah, it had to have been. Because, my God,
they would Nick Matt up.
Yep, they would be like, Nicholas here, and it would be Matt. Like,
like dog.
Like, what the fuck, man? So, Matt goes to Swanton Powerhouse Hobbs through a table. He swantons him through the table, but his head did not get close to Hobbs' body. He kind of landed on Hobbs' body with like his lower back and his head. They were checking on him because of concern that his head just straight up hit the stage. Yeah. So he was okay though. He got up, and Samoa Joe, this was like the second or third time we cut to Samoa Joe in this match, and he was just being choked out by somebody.
They were on that man's ass this match and just choking him out.
Dude,
It was fucking hilarious.
it was around this point in the match, dude. We cut to Joe probably about 4 or 5 times, and every time this man was just getting choked out.
They did not let up with that man.
The Young Bucks then recoup, and they have Powerhouse Hobbs on the stage. And Excalibur says, "Oh no, they're gonna hit Powerhouse Cobbs with an EVP trigger."
Powerhouse Cobbs.
You're fucking with me at this point.
Like,
you've got to be Powerhouse Cobbs.
Dog.
Dude.
Powerhouse Cobbs. That commentary is something else, dog. Shivani, man. At this point, he's worse than Excalibur.
Dude, he is.
At one point, Excalibur was the real bad one, and now it's Shivani. They both suck, but Shivani is just... Man.
Powerhouse Cobbs. He's about to get an EVP trigger, and Swerve comes driving in on a forklift with Prince Nana on the back of it, and some,
production guy that's probably certified and trained.
Yep. A certified forklift operator is driving Swerve out to the top of the stage. As Swerve gets raised up on this pallet, and he does a swerve stomp off of it onto the Young Bucks. It's a great looking spot. They make their way back down to the ring, and Swerve is stapling everybody. He's stapling Matt, Nick, John Moxley got one as well. And then Matt came back with another staple gun of his own, and somehow this got into the hands of Marina Shafir, who stapled Swerve's tongue.
Ooh, man.
And at the end of the match, he showed his tongue, and you can clearly see in the middle of his tongue
just a
staple.
Brutal.
Fuck.
That man's a demon.
He took a lot of staples last year. I think it was his match with Hangman. I think it might have been the one from All Out.
Yeah, they were stapling the shit out of each other, and he took a bunch of staples here. He took one. He took them all over. And then obviously on his tongue. Fucking insane.
Yeah, that man, he's a demon, bro. So after this happens, Willow Nightingale jumps in the ring. She starts spearing everybody. And John Moxley jumps in the ring and without hesitation delivers a cutter to Willow Nightingale to get her out of the match. Marina Shafir jumps in the ring Kenny jumps in the ring, starts getting in some offense, and Marina Shafir jumps in the ring. She goes to kick Omega. He grabs her leg, so she spits in his face. Omega turns her around and hits her with a Snapdragon suplex.
Brutal.
So Willow Nightingale gets back in the ring as Matt Jackson was getting some offense, and Matt and Nick go to hit her with a Meltzer driver. They get Willow in a tombstone position, but Swerve makes the save and throws Nick out of the ring onto a table on the outside. Meanwhile, Matt is still in the ring, gets his tombstone reversed, and Willow Nightingale has him up for a tombstone pile driver as her and Swerve deliver the Meltzer driver to Matt Jackson. Claudio comes in to get some offense, but he is stopped by a mystery man in a hoodie that attacks him with a golf club. And this mystery man ends up being Hook.
But he's back.
Hook is back, so it's nice to see him in good spirits. And, being able to get physical.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just walks away.
That spot was really weird because they played up to it as like, oh, the tension between him and Joe and whatnot. I was like, why do they have tension? He got hurt, and obviously they had to slot someone in his place, so why would he be mad about that? confused about that. Very curious to see how they deal with that on Dynamite.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, obviously there is something brewing there. What that is, we will have to wait and see. So that should be interesting. Yeah, but yeah, that was the hook spot. We then get the help from Gabe Kidd.
Still don't know why he's helping them, but
Still have absolutely no clue why he is in allegiance with the Death Riders and the Young Bucks.
From what commentary said, he hates everything AEW stands for, but like Young Bucks should be included in that, so why is he still helping, inadvertently the Young Bucks? The Young Bucks are the killer here. If it was just the Death Riders, I could say, okay, he doesn't fuck with AEW, even though Death Riders actually do like AEW, they just want it to be better in their own mind. But I digress. Does not make sense.
Yeah.
And I love the guy. He's like the best part of New Japan. And I'm glad I see him on AEW with this, but like, dog, what?
Yeah. Odd. Very odd. Especially we, just seen something in New Japan with Gabe Kidd in the Bucks where he was acting like he hated him.
Yeah.
But AEW commentary did say that he is the Death Riders' hired assassin.
Hired assassin.
What the fuck that means, I have no clue.
I wish I knew what that meant. Did they actually hire him? Does he have a pension? What's the circumstances here? Is it like, we'll help you out at Forbidden Door? Because I'm sure that's what that's gonna build to.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Forbidden Door is not even your next pay-per-view. So I am glad you're teasing it already. Mm-hmm. But like, what's the end game here at Forbidden Door? Just a multi-man match, probably.
If that's what they do with Gabe Kidd at Forbidden Door, then maybe Moxley planned, or Moxley promised him an AEW World Championship match. So if Moxley isn't champion by then,
he gets mad at him.
Gabe Kidd will start a feud with whoever is the world champion, going off Moxley's promise.
Could be
either that, or he gets mad at him, and we get Gabe Kidd versus John Moxley.
Could be something like that, or like you said, he could go for who's the champion at the time. So whatever it may be. So I'm very interested to see how they do that.
For sure. So, Omega gets thumbtacks put in his mouth. He gets an EVP trigger. And he gets put in a bulldog choke by John Moxley. That gets broken up by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, Willow Nightingale, and Shibata bring the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd up to the strategically placed ambulance that was there.
They just kept it there the rest of the night?
They put them in the ambulance. Closed the door, and we're all standing in front of the door. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a little like passageway between the back of the ambulance and the cab of the ambulance?
I think so. And isn't there usually like that side door on ambulances in the like medical section of them? Like, you could have just threw a line in there by commentary like, all the other doors are blocked in the ambulance, so they can't get out.
Yeah, or like have two people watch the back door, and then have the other two people watch the passenger and the driver's side door.
Or even I was thinking, close the back door, grab like I'm sure you have a metal object somewhere over there, stick it in the door handle so they can't open it.
Yeah.
Run around and then block them from going through those other doors. That might be like a cooler, more integral spot, but they're just, oh no, we're trapped, while the door's probably unlocked behind them, and they have to just play it up that they're locked in there. It's like, I've seen a fucking ambulance before. I know there's more doors, but it was fine. It's just, when you think about it, it's like they could have just left, but
for sure.
Or they could have just drove off.
Yeah.
Even if they were locked in it.
So they're locked up. Swerve grabs his Swerve the Answer 3s by Reebok.
There you go.
His shoe is like a collaboration with Allen Iverson. Weren't his shoes supposed to be called Pressure Ones? Isn't that what they announced his shoes as?
I think so. But I mean, remember how the Roman shoes fell off? They didn't have.
I don't know why they always screw wrestlers around then.
I
don't know what, like...
Why are you announcing these things and then it just falls through?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
But it's weird because we still hear all the time, like, Roman Reigns and Jordan collab is coming. But then it just, like, goes quiet.
Yeah, like... Because I remember when they announced it, like, they did, like, the Jordan logo, but then it was, like, that, like, Reigns, like, silhouette logo instead, and... What happened to it? Like, how do these deals just fall through like that?
It's ridiculous. It's so easy for pro athletes to get these deals. Meanwhile, these wrestlers get fucked around.
Exactly. Like, I remember when AEW first started, they had like a couple people with that shoe deal, and it was like those cool designs on the shop. I remember those. I don't know I don't think they were
I think those were made in house.
I think they were. But like it's not shit. That. Yeah, there was literally the most like middle school shoe.
That was like those Walmart shoes.
But like, just can't be that hard to make a deal.
Yeah, I don't. Especially like, you think somebody as big as Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
Like, why these kind of athletes get fucked around? Meanwhile, it's so easy for like a SGA or a fucking Luka Doncic to get their own shoes.
It's like
And they deserve them. They're great players, but like, why do these wrestlers get fucked around so much in like in endorsement deals from these like shoe brands?
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's real weird. So Swerve brings out the Answer 3s, the Swerves, and they have thumbtacks on the bottom. Kenny Omega is on the stage. He gives through an electric table a one-winged angel. He gives a one-winged angel through an electric table. Meanwhile, Swerve gives a swerve stomp with tacks. I believe that was Matt.
I think it was Matt
that he gave the stomp to, and got the victory. 1, 2, 3. Swerve pins Matt Jackson to go on and face God knows who at All In, because my original idea was it was going to be Swerve and Hangman versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, that's kind of off the table now.
And that is no more, effective immediately.
Literally.
So he goes on to All In, like I said, to do God knows what. God, I couldn't tell you. He's already faced Ricochet. Obviously him and Will are still baby faces, so I doubt it's them. I don't know what a lot of the plans are for All In at this point.
I have no clue what they're planning to do, man. But Anarchy in the Arena, really looking good this year. Glad it was a success. I liked it.
Very good.
Very fun. Great spots, man. I like what they did here, man. I thought it was a really good Anarchy in the Arena match. I love these things, and it was a success, man.
Absolutely. And I got excited thinking the main event was maybe next. It was this shit.
The buffer match. Dog.
Speaking of commentary, for this match, it wasn't Taz, obviously. It wasn't Tony Schiavone. It wasn't even Excalibur. For some just completely some unknown reason, Lance Archer is on commentary. Meanwhile, Don Callis is ringside, which the match started with Don on commentary. And then they switched.
They had Lance Loser on commentary.
This guy sounded hornier than a mug on commentary. What was even that? This man is sitting there calling this action, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's it. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it. That's how the Don Callis family does it." The fuck
And then
are you talking about?
at the end of the match, he goes, "That's how the Don Callis family does it."
You fucking freak. What the fuck are you doing? You got a secret Reddit account or something? What the hell are you doing?
What the? That's how you call action? And I said to Sir K, no wonder why they always put this guy with a manager and they never let him grab a fucking microphone.
Because he's a fucking freak.
What the fuck was that?
That's how we do it. Oh,
Again,
yeah.
what is this guy got a fucking secret Reddit account or something? Like what
What was lifting people up? What the fuck's going on, dog?
What in the world was that comment? Never put him on commentary ever again.
That shit was horrible, man.
Oh yeah. That's how we do it.
That's how we do it, bro.
Oh, that's it. Huh?
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, dude, this was a bona fide bumper match, bro. This was so the crowd was not tired for the main event, and they had a little bit more time to re-energize. That's the only reason this was put on the card.
It did nothing. It was nothing. No story. You got fucking the washed era, or the undisputed washed.
The undisputed has-beens.
Exactly. And just a random group that is the Don Callis family. And then you have Josh Alexander there. Fucking...
Dude. Oh, God.
Charismaless.
Dude.
Just standing there.
They're doing their entrance. And Takeshita's standing there. He's soaking up his aura. And Kyle Fletcher walks up. And, he's soaking his aura up too. And then you just have Josh Alexander standing there just with the most just blank look on his face.
No.
And I'm just like, geez, dude, the amount of charisma coming off this guy. I mean,
he puts these two to shame.
Good God. I'm like, man, this guy's really oozing charisma off my fucking television right now.
You ever seen that picture with the 3-headed dragon? The two faces are serious, and the one is fucking goofy.
The one's like, yeah.
That's fucking this trio right here, dog. Fucking two demons and Josh Alexander, bro.
Dude.
I wouldn't have signed him personally. He there's no value there. I'm sorry. At
the very least, NXT, I feel, would have helped him gain some charisma.
Mm-hmm.
AEW signed him as Josh Alexander.
Yep.
And he needed to expand a little bit upon that blank ass stare that he gives. What is that? What is that, honestly?
I wish I knew.
Kyle Fletcher hits a brain buster on Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyles were going at it.
Yeah, to secure the victory here. I can guarantee you one of the members in this group is going to end up getting a TNT Championship match. Maybe at All In. Maybe you put that TNT title on Kyle Fletcher.
I would like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you put it on Takeshita. I don't know. Don't put it on Josh Alexander.
God, no.
But yeah, I mean that is a possible direction you could go with this. So whether they do that or not remains to be seen, but I can guarantee going into All In, at least maybe, one of these guys will end up getting a TNT Championship match out of beating Adam Cole's group here. So yeah, I mean, that was that. It was simply no much more than a buffer match. But then afterwards, the Don Callis family, they attack the Paragon. They attack the Paragon as we hear the Hounds of Hell music. And when you think Hounds of Hell, you probably think Brody King and Buddy Matthews.
Mm-hmm. No.
It was Brody King and Tomohiro Ishii.
Walking, just fucking right out there, bruh.
And obviously there's a spot open in the middle. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is where Buddy Matthews is going to make his return.
Nope.
It was Brody King, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
The fucking ace came in this spot. You bring the ace for this? What? What are you doing, bruh? What the fuck? Good Lord.
Maybe he wants his final AEW match to be against Takeshita.
Maybe I would like that. Do that at Forbidden Door.
Maybe that's what they want to do for Forbidden Door. Good Lord, what a random fucking spot this was.
What a way to fucking bring him in for this spot of all things. Good Lord, man. Sir, another tease for Forbidden Door. Like I said, hopefully it is Takeshita. That'd be actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, this was literally the most random shit in the world. It was literally like 2K generated fucking random shit, dog.
Yes, it was. Next up, AEW announces Fyter Fest for June 4th, which is, I believe, 2 Dynamites away. Yes, 2 Dynamites away. It is announced for June 4th as a 4-hour special, which, if you remember, we got this not too long ago, which, as you can see, the Summer Blockbuster, I believe, was confirmed to be a 4-hour special.
I think it was. I don't know if Grand Slam was.
As for Grand Slam Mexico, I can do a quick search real quick.
Most definitely, because I remember they announced Summer Blockbuster as that, and they just announced Fyter Fest as a 4-hour special to AEW Dynamite. 4 hours of AEW Dynamite, at least twice. Listen, Summer Blockbuster, cool idea. Okay, so it's not. So is Blockbuster still? Okay. So Grand Slam Mexico, it's not 4 hours, thank God. But Summer Blockbuster and Fyter Fest, both 4 hours. Now, when is June 11th? How far is June 11th?
June 11th is the week after the 14th, I believe, because, yeah.
After
so for
4th,
2 weeks in a row.
We'll have 4-hour episodes of Dynamite. 8 hours of Dynamite in total between 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sounds like fucking hell.
Hopefully they don't have Collision on those weeks, so you could put the Collision guys that I would like to see on Dynamite on said shows. Hopefully not those CMML guys that they put on this week. But yeah, so it's cool. I'm glad that they're trying to, do stuff with Dynamite again. I am, but like 4 hours of Dynamite.
4 hours, bro.
So fucking rough, dog. I'm sorry. Now 3 hours would have been okay. A little 3-hour television. Trust me, I'm fucking used to 3 hours of television at this point.
Yeah.
So it is, but 4 hours of television, dog, twice in a row. Ooh, hopefully they can make it through that, man. Hopefully they got a lot planned, man, and they got a lot to build for All In. So focus on that, dog, please. But you think it'd be too early for one of those to be War Games or Blood and Guts?
Probably.
Because that would have been slotted perfect.
But then again, they did move their whole They did move their whole calendar around.
So they could just do like Summer Blockbuster and do Blood and Guts in one of those 4 hours on that show.
Yeah.
At that point, I think that might be a good thing to do at this point.
Yeah, because you could fill up a nice hour with Blood and Guts.
Exactly.
Still got 3 hours left, though.
Dude, at that point, do a fucking women's one, too.
Fuck
it. Just do it, dog.
I don't know what the hell that guy is planning for these shows, but you got 2 back-to-back weeks of 4-hour TV. This is going to be hard, man.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be a difficult watch. I'm going to tell you guys that.
This is going to be a very difficult watch. But yeah, so they did announce that. So again, 2 weeks back to back, we're going to be having 4-hour TV specials. So between June 14th and 11th, we will consume 8 hours of AEW Dynamite. So
sounds like a threat.
it is a fucking threat. Trust me. So yeah, so that's that, and yeah, I mean that is
That's interesting, man.
that
I hope
is.
they have a plan.
Oh God, I hope so.
I hope so.
So that was that, and we move on
Oof,
to the main event:
man.
Will Ospreay versus Adam Hangman Page. Oh man,
These guys, man.
this was fucking great. This was great. This was really awesome, man. These guys absolutely tweaked out, for sure. In the match to close the show for the Owen, Hangman Page comes out with a awesome video
Sick as fuck.
that's just talking about his redemption, and he's showing all the things that I guess traumatized him, with Swerve breaking into his house and then him lighting Swerve's house on fire. It was awesome.
It was
We then end up getting a entrance from him where his Titantrons were a desert road being lit up by neon pink cactuses.
oof. Incredible, dude. Incredible entrance. Incredible little entrance video. It's literally him in the desert filming it. They put like a rundown version of the crib of his child in there, like debris, I'm guessing, from Swerve's burnt down house, the chain from dude. Incredible fucking promo pack, like little opening video package, and then incredible fucking entrance, dude. That entrance, the long road with the sick neon cactuses down it, dude. Super cool fucking entrance, man.
For sure. Jacob, what up, man? Honestly, bro, I
would have went with Osprey too. I'm not mad at all that Hangman won. He really is the GOAT, man, but I don't know. I felt like it aligned better for the rest of All In if Osprey won. It just threw everything out of whack, which isn't bad, but it's not Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. I'll definitely tell you that, but it was very much did not think it was going to happen.
Yeah, I probably would have went with Osprey too.
Mhm.
Not mad that
No.
Hangman won. There was two good options here. I think just like you said, and you can see the same kind of thing with the women's one, except the women's one doesn't have, or the women's one has Mrs. Hulk Hogan in it. But
people call Becky Hogan.
that's what I was gonna say during the opening to that. People got the audacity to call Becky Lynch Becky Hogan. Meanwhile, Mercedes is out here. What, 18-0, hasn't fucking put a single person over.
Literally.
Get out of here.
Come on, dog.
Well, she did put Ozumi over.
Oh man.
Not really though. She didn't even get pinned to lose the title. But anyways,
Shocker.
Will Ospreay's entrance. I thought they were gonna do something cool for it, and they ended up just playing a promo.
In like the Trons, instead of the normal Trons, they were like a stained glass Tron, which was cool, but like. I thought when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's got to be some like Assassin's Creed gear he's coming out with, or
Yeah.
It was pretty normal gear. So I was kind of shocked by the normalcy of his entrance.
Dude, you look at all the past years of the Owen. You look at like the year Adam Cole wore pink and Samoa Joe, I think, wore green, and then the year. That same year, Ruby had a regular ass attire on. Britt wore pink. It's always the person that wears pink. Like they make it so obvious.
They really do.
Who's gonna win? So who won it last year? Oh, it was Brian. Brian didn't wear pink.
No.
I don't think so. But all the other years, I feel like it's always the person that wears pink, and the person that just has the regular attire on is always the one that ends up losing. But yeah, so we got like I said, I thought they were gonna do something cool with Will's entrance, but it was literally just that one promo that they played for some reason with him, telling Hangman, this isn't about your redemption, it's about my ascension. So we then early on in the match, Hangman goes for a buckshot, but it is missed. He misses it. Just I guess to get in Ospreay's head a little bit. He looked a little like, a little shooken up by that. I don't think he was coming I don't think he thought it was coming that early. A little bit down the line, he hits Hangman with a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. We then get a buckshot lariat from Adam Page. He then goes for another buckshot lariat, and he goes to jump over the top, and Ospreay hits him with a kick. And as he is hung up on the top rope, Ospreay does that that backflip where he lands right on his back, and then Hangman goes flying over the top rope into the ring for a near fall. He then Adam Page then goes for a moonsault that is missed, and as he lands, he gets hit with a hidden blade. He rolls onto the outside of the ring, and he then gets a power bomb on the apron. Ospreay pulls him back up for a Styles Clash off of said apron, where Hangman kind of crunched up and kind of landed on his knee, and then Ospreay kind of landed right on his foot. So they didn't land like you would traditionally want to land for a Styles Clash. Thankfully, no one got hurt, at least to our knowledge so far. So that happened. He gets Page in the ring, goes for an Os Cutter, connects for a near fall. He then hits the hidden blade right after that for another great near fall. He gets Hangman on the outside of the ring and starts banging his head on the announce table. Very similar to what he did to Omega when he was a heel.
Yeah.
At Forbidden Door 2023. Yes, that was before he was in AEW, when Forbidden Door was semi-interesting. He was banging his head on the table. And he looks to get Hangman in, I guess, powerbomb position, and he ends up getting him in position. Hangman, that is, ends up getting countering it and getting him in position for a Deadeye. As soon as he goes to jump for the Deadeye, the table just breaks.
Oof.
The table breaks. So their landing looked pretty nasty. As they laid there for a minute, I guess the ref was just trying to check if everybody was okay. And Hangman then recuperates and gets back up, and gets Ospreay back up, and then just gives him a dead eye just straight on the already broken table. So there was that. He then gets him in the ring for a buckshot that was a near fall.
Yeah.
A little bit later in the match, he goes for a Hangman is standing there going for another buckshot. He goes for another buckshot as he's standing on the apron. Ospreay takes off his elbow pad. Hangman takes off his elbow pad. So this is pretty much the Bryan spot where they're both standing in opposing corners in the ring, and they just figure to run at each other and see who hits their move first. With the Busaiku knee and the hidden blade. Basically same thing here, except the buckshot and the hidden blade. Hangman ends up hitting his move, so Ospreay does not get the hidden blade here just yet, as he gets hit with a lariat. A little bit later in the match, as Ospreay gets back on the offense, he hits Page with a Stormbreaker. He goes for another hidden blade, and Hangman is so gassed, he just falls. He falls at the perfect time before Ospreay can hit him with it, and Ospreay flies right past him. Tony Schiavone, in the mix of this amazing match,
Incredible.
he just says, in the saddest, just pouting, most pouting voice you can imagine, just keep fighting. Just keep fighting. No shit, Tony.
No, I'm gonna just give up. I'm waving the white flag, dog. I'm done.
Right after he misses that hidden blade because Adam Page just fell, he couldn't even hold himself up anymore. Excalibur in typical Excalibur fashion, does the fastest, smoothest fuck up you could possibly imagine. He goes, Osprey, fully committed to the Adam Hangman page. Oh, I mean the Hidden Blade.
Oh, I mean.
Yes. Yes, Excalibur.
He committed to him.
Osprey fully committed to the Hidden Blade that he was going to hit on Adam Page. Or as you like to say, Osprey fully committed to the Hangman Adam Page.
To the Hangman Adam Page. Good lord. Did you write down the ether line?
Oh my god, I didn't. Dude, you gotta say that one, bro.
When did it happen?
I think it was one of the Storm Zeros.
Dude, after one of the Storm Zeros, and a kick out occurred, dude. Fucking who said was it?
It was Excalibur.
It was Excalibur. Excalibur goes, well, Osprey, he pulled that one out of the ether, man. He pulled it out of the ether. What are you talking about, dog? He pulled it. What? He pulled out the fifth dimension.
He pulled that one out of the ether. What is he fucking playing Minecraft? What is he playing Portal?
I guess so, man. Good lord, commentary.
At this point in the match, Adam Page is leaning on the ropes, and Osprey does Omega's taunt.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits Adam Page with a V-trigger. He then gets him up for the one, as Excalibur says, the one winged angel. He gets him up for the one winged angel. And that ends up getting countered. Page gets off of his shoulders, and he's standing behind him. He then hits him with his own arch nemesis' move. He hits Osprey with the big pressure for a near fall. Osprey goes to, and this was the ending sequence of the match. Osprey goes to hit Adam Page with one final Stormbreaker. Page leaps off, kicks his arm, hits him with a discus lariat that knocks the sense out of Will Ospreay. He then immediately jumps over the top rope, hits Will with a buckshot lariat, and gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
As Adam Page wins the Owen, and Hangman is going on to Double or Nothing to face to All In to face Jon Moxley for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Hangman is getting the World Championship shot. I almost have to think Hangman's got to win that.
He's got to at this point. He's got to just face him straight on and win it, I think. I don't think it's going to be Darby at this point. Yeah, I don't see how Darby can slot into this without, him looking like he's just trying to steal the moment. You know what I mean? Especially with Hangman. It would have been easier to do if it was Ospreay. But with Hangman, that's going to really look like Darby's just stealing spotlight. And I don't think that's going to go over well with your audience. So I think it should just be him straight up. And he should probably just straight up beat him. Very interesting route they've taken this. It really throws a lot of the ideas I thought for All In out of whack. Like you mentioned, thought it was going to be a tag match. Adam Page, Swerve, Young Bucks. I guess they're going to do that at a later date. But it's interesting. I'm not mad at the decision at all. Love both of those guys. Either or was a fine decision. Like I said, I think Ospreay would have been the more planned out decision, but not mad at all with Hangman winning, and I'm very interested to see how they build up All In then. It does add an intrigue to All In now that, I really don't know how they're going to build to the show and to what. So I'm gonna be peeking, man. I'm gonna see how they build up All In for the rest of the card. And Jon Moxley, Hangman Page. I'm excited, man. I'm very excited and very intrigued to see how All In shapes up.
Yeah, it definitely throws some of the things that I thought for All In out of the out of whack for sure. I for sure thought that Osprey was going to be winning this match. I was thinking you do Osprey and Moxley. I personally thought Darby would be added to that. Don't be shocked if Darby, if he does make it back in time, if he still gets added to the match.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that, yeah, even with that, man, I would think that Hangman goes on to, you know, defeat John Moxley. At least I hope so. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm feeling, man. But at least what I hope is
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, he will go on. But honestly, man, with both of these Owen winners, it definitely throws a lot of, like I said, a lot of what I thought for All In out the window.
Almost
Um,
definitely.
because now with Hangman winning, what in the world does Will Ospreay do at All In?
I I don't know, man. I really have no clue what the plan is for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, because when they brought the Young Bucks back, I thought the way they were going was Paige and Swerve versus the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not at least that
Doesn't seem
sure
like
looks
the
like that's not a thing anymore. Um, but yeah, like I said, now what do you do with Osprey? What do you do with
Swerve. What do you do with
yeah,
a lot of
I'm
these guys?
very interested now because I feel like Swerve will still be somewhat involved with the Young Bucks, but I just thought Paige made the most sense. Obviously, you know, they've been doing a lot of offense between Swerve and Omega against the Bucks, but Omega is going to be facing Okada.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I still feel that's a thing. So, you know, what happens with that now? Very interested to see, man. Like it, you know, there was really no wrong options here, man. And this match was absolutely insane. I loved it. I was a big fan of what both of these guys did here, man. But yeah, just like I said, you had no wrong options, but they definitely went with the more unpredictable option. I thought for sure that this was going to be the time and place for Osprey to win the Owen and go on to fight for the world championship, but it ends up being Hangman, and obviously that is a great story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I wouldn't be shocked if Darby still got added to this match.
I really wouldn't.
So yeah, I like I said, I thought the match was great. It's just definitely the more shocking of the two outcomes. I could have swore Will Ospreay was winning this, man, but I mean Hangman is not a bad story to tell either. So I can't necessarily be mad at them for that.
Most definitely, you can't be. No matter what, it was two great people possibly facing him. I'm just very curious to see what they're gonna set up for everybody at All In, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But it was an amazing match. It was
Mm-hmm.
Osprey and Adam Page. What did you guys expect? I loved it. I thought they did a great job. We said it before, but this was probably the best they've ever promoted an Owen final.
Oh, most definitely.
Not only did this main event a pay per view, but like these guys, just their promos, their back and forths mixed with the way the match turned out was just it was great. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I think AEW knocked it out of the park with this. And like I said, no bad options. We're either getting Hangman or Will Ospreay, or like I said, do not be surprised if Darby Allin is still in this in some way, shape, or form. But one of those three guys is walking out of All In with the world championship, and I'm just excited for that, man. We're down to about the final we're close to the final month of the Death Riders reign. So I think that's something for all of us to be happy about.
Exactly. I hope it's finally coming to an end, man. And that's gonna be good news no matter who fucking beats them. So anybody could fucking beat them at this point, and we're all happy. But great match, amazing main event, great story leading into the end of the Owen, man, and it's really setting up All In, man. And I'm very curious to see how the rest of All In gets set up.
Very, very curious, man. So that was everything. Well, Hangman, after this, he walked up to the trophy and he's holding the Owen belt, and he kind of does the same little turnaround he did to Swerve at All Out, but this time he does go back. He does go back for more, but It wasn't to, beat the shit out of Osprey. It was to look him in his eye and shake his hand.
Yeah.
So I think Osprey definitely played a huge part in Adam Page finding himself once again.
I think so.
So he is your number one contender, and he is on the road to completing his Red Dead Redemption. So,
Hey, hell yeah.
Yeah. The Cowboy rides into Texas to face Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
And possibly get back the AEW World Championship, man. So it's going to be great. And again, whether it's Darby, whether it's Osprey, whether it's Page, whoever it would have been, we were leaving All In, hopefully, with a phenomenal world champion and a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing in a main event any day of the week.
Exactly. Whether it was Osprey, Hangman, Darby, I'll take all of them. I'll take any of them, man. So I like how we're getting a good person no matter what.
For sure. So we will have to wait and see how All In Texas shapes up, man. But that was your Double or Nothing review. Solid show, man. Solid show. Like I said, it obviously was not Dynasty. It wasn't as bad as Dynasty. It wasn't as good as Revolution, but it wasn't as bad as Dynasty. As I did enjoy the night overall, and I'm just grateful I wasn't left looking Draymond faced at my TV because of how fucking astonishingly bad the show was, like I was for Dynasty. It was
so bad.
I was completely blown after that show. So I am very thankful that this show did not do that for me.
Oh, most definitely, thankfully.
Yeah, but Double or Nothing, 6 years of AEW. Double or Nothing was good. It was very good, man. I did enjoy it. So yeah, that was everything. That was everything for the show, man. That is everything for NHP as well. So with that being said, man, that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Hills podcast. That is going to do it for your... This is our 5th year reviewing Double or Nothing. Yes, this is our 5th year. For the 5th Double or Nothing review that NHP has done, the 6th Double or Nothing in company history. And yeah, man, we will see you guys. We will definitely see you guys next year for the Double or Nothing review as well, man. But if you guys do want to catch us on the post show, you do not have to wait that much longer, because you will see us in about another 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. What is that? 13? Yeah, 13. Is that this fuck? Oh no, it is
next weekend.
Okay. Yes, you guys will see us in 12 days with the Money in the Bank review. So we will be live for Money in the Bank from Los Angeles, California. And yeah, that is going to do it, man. That is going to do it for your Double or Nothing post-show review. And with that being said, it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it, man. Thank you guys to everybody who came out. Logan, Hunter, Jacob, thank you guys so very much for joining us here today for Double or Nothing. Appreciate you guys, whether you guys are here now, caught us live, or part of the Replay Mafia. I know it's late. You guys are troopers, man. It is 2:47 a.m. Central Time here in Chicago, man. So, good God, you gotta love AEW.
Gotta love them.
But yeah, man, that is gonna do it, man. Thank you guys so much. Actually, thank you, Tony Khan, for starting All In earlier.
I'm so excited, dude.
Because we will be done with an AEW review, hopefully around 11 o'clock.
Look at that.
So excited for that. But thank you guys so very much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you all in less than 24 hours after Monday Night Raw with Unscripted.
Peace.